But at some point, I gotta take personal accountability. At some point, I gotta admit that I gotta get my phone fixed. Like at some point, well, I gotta handle that. Like at what point am I gonna handle getting my phone fixed? Like, at what point am I gonna make that a priority? You know, I can't. I just can't do it anymore. I just can't do it, bro. Like, I just try. I be trying with these lies. I be trying to do it good, and it just cuts off. And I just be trying to talk, and it just don't be working. You know, I can't blame FGB. I can't blame FBG Butter all the time. I can't. I can't, guys. I take accountability starting today. That's not okay. My life can't keep cutting off like that. That's not okay. You know, you know. I didn't get rich to just have my life cutting off like that. That's not what I got money for. You know, you know. FBG Butter, I'm not blaming you no more today. Okay, I'm taking accountability now. You know what I'm saying I want to say FPG Butter messed up my life, but I'm taking accountability today. You know what I'm saying? I'm taking accountability today. I'm charging my phone, bro. Stop yelling at me. I'm charging my phone. I'm doing it right now, but it's like I cracked the back of my phone. You know how the iPhones is. You feel me? It's been cracked for like 4 months. No, it's been cracked for like probably like 2 months, but it just now decided to start acting up now. So it's charging now. It wasn't charging all the way before. I do apologize, guys. It wasn't FBG Butter fault this time. You know what I'm saying? Not this time. I'm taking accountability. I'm taking control of my life. Okay? Today, right now, I decide that I'm gonna be the best somebody. I'm gonna be the best me. Okay? Okay? So I'm sorry about that. Anyways, what I was talking about, America's in a cult. The Western world is in a cult. And the Western world is okay with being in a cult. Why? Because it fits our narrative right now. We're okay with the killing of third world country people because we really don't see those people as people. You know, we don't see Venezuelans as people. You know, we damn sure don't see Nigerians as people. Nigerians? What language they speak in Nigeria? Huh? Tell me. Somebody tell me. I'm an American. What language they speak in Nigeria? We don't care about no Nigerians. They don't even have roads in Nigeria. Most Americans think like this. You know what I mean? So it's not like we care. Welcome in, everybody. Sorry about that last live. Don't forget to double tap the screen and like this one, though. I go by the name SOLARMAN. We are the biggest, by the way. I'm bigger than everybody. Look at my house. Don't look at my floor. I said look at my house. I guess that would be part of my... Don't correct me, okay? Don't correct me. I didn't get on live and put myself out here to get corrected. Shut your bitch ass up. Get a job. Okay. Yes, sir. Or ma'am. Yes, either one. Or it. I don't know. 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 But I'll do whatever you say. I'll do whatever you say. Whatever you say, I'll do. I'll get a job right now. What job should I do? What should I do? Tell me what should I do? Anyway, most Americans are a part of a cult, right? Most Americans, most Western people have an ideology of supremacy and really and a blind level of authoritarianism that we support. What the heck? Why my teeth look like that? Ew. My life. My life. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. The live, guys. My last live just got cut off because I need to get my phone fixed. I ain't gonna lie to you. Most of the time, it be FBG Butter fault. I ain't gonna lie, but this time it's my fault. So if y'all can double tap the screen, I go by the name SOLARMAN, and right now I'm talking about how most Americans are complicit with anarchy. Most Americans are complicit with the world coming to a burning end. We really don't care because we really don't see the rest of the world as people. Excuse me. if you're not from a country that we can name and whose food we can readily recognize, like China, Chinese food, even though that's not real Chinese food that we be eating, Mexican food, even though like Mexicans is kind of like not even real Mexicans. The real Mexicans are Mexicans. You know what I'm saying? We don't view these people as people. So who cares if they get bombed or not? Who cares if Venezuelans get deported back to their boo boo country, when we got our own country, who cares if America is the reason that Venezuela is destabilized because we cut off the oil imports or the manufacturing companies from being able to refine the oil. We cut them off from being able to do that. So we destabilize the country and we thus tanking their economy. So now, in order to go find a better life, they can't go to Mexico. Mexico's not that good of a country either. So they got to go keep going north. And then when they get to our country, we offer them sanctuary cities, but not really, really we offer them sanctuary cities so they can replace, the blacks and, take the black jobs. You remember that? You remember when Trump said the black jobs, like cleaning and like listening and like, doing stuff that, us normal Americans don't want to do. Those are black jobs. Those are black jobs. You know what I mean? So, yeah, I'm aware that they have the oil, brother. Venezuela has the biggest deposits of natural oil on the planet. Did you guys know that? I didn't know that until like 2 weeks ago, but I learned that, So this is what colonialism does. Colonialism destabilizes the region, extracts the resources and sends it back to its own country. And then through propaganda, we say, ha, 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 look at your doo-doo country. You guys are deplorable people. You people aren't even really humans. But really, I don't know what's more dehumanizing, taking something from someone and taking it back to your cave and then claiming that that region that you took it from isn't human. So who cares? What I'm saying is, who cares what happens to non-humans? Who cares what happens to Nigerians? Who cares what happens to Syrians? Who cares what happens to Palestinians? Those people are brown. We don't care about brown people. We don't. You don't know what you're talking about. Okay. Tell me what I don't know about what I'm talking about. Or do I not know that Venezuela has the biggest oil deposits in the whole world and that we're currently waging a shadow war under the guise of protecting our own sovereignty and our own national borders from drug traffickers? So we've aligned about 9 naval warships that have nuclear warheads on them around the coast of Venezuela, and that we extracted the resources out of Venezuela and we destabilized their country, and now we're calling them deplorable people. Do I not know this? Do I not know that Nigeria is also about top 5 for the natural oil deposits in the world? And so now we're in Nigeria under the guise of stopping ISIS and terrorism, as if America has ever cared about terrorism, as if America isn't the biggest global terrorist on the planet currently. Do I not know this? Do I not know that you're a loser? Yo, all right, let me read some more comments, yo. But anyways, y'all, my last live got destroyed. It wasn't FVG Butter's fault. It was my fault. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN, and by not knowing what I'm talking about, and by getting a job, because that's what they told me to do on this live and the last live too. Every time I try to talk about something of substance, somebody tells me to get a job. So by not knowing what I'm talking about and by getting a job, I've been able to amass, a pretty, nice life for myself, despite not knowing what I'm talking about. So being that I don't know what I'm talking about, maybe I don't know that currently we're waging war in every part of the planet in order to become the global superpower, because, America is not number one in anything other than waging war. Maybe I don't know this. Maybe I don't know this. Maybe I don't know what I'm talking about. Maybe I don't know. Maybe I'm slow. Oh, shit. I'm having an existential crisis, people. Maybe I'm dumb. I'm dumb. I don't know. Let me read comments. I'm kind of dumb, so it might take me a while to read the comments. Give me a second. Chicago or Atlanta rappers. See, no, that's going to make me dumber. I don't want to talk about no rapper. That's definitely gonna make me dumber. Talking about a rapper has to be the dumbest thing that we could be talking about right now. Get out of Rome. Listen to the information. All right, they have the oil. They want the oil. A lot of drugs come from a lot of South American countries. Not a lot of countries in South America have the oil of Venezuela. Does a lot of drugs come from the CIA's manufacturing in the labs that we have in a lot of our industrial cities. We don't really have to import a lot of drugs. I mean, we do import about 60% of our drugs, but a lot of our drugs have been found to be made domestically right here. You know what I mean? And they drop them off in the ghettos where people that look like me and are darker than me, they just drop them off. We don't know where fentanyl came from. Like, nobody in the hood knows where fentanyl came from. We just know it came. And then when it came, we just knew we could make some money off of it. Because we're not smart. We're not the smart people. We don't have any culture. That's what people think about us. So, we had to make some money. We tried to make like $5 off of it, and we ended up making, the government's been making like, so like a $200 trillion plus industry. But we've made at least 100 billion off of this drug stuff. So we got our cut. But we don't know about these drugs. We don't. We don't know where cocaine came from until it was presented to us, sir, ma'am. What's good, bro? Welcome in, family. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I do apologize for the last live cutting off. That was my bad. I'm going to do my best to keep this one going. I'm going to do it by making sure my charger is plugged in, by the energy from me not getting a job. You know what I mean? Well, you don't have to worry because you're yellow. You are racially insensitive. You know that? That hurts my feelings. Yellow? Really? Simpsons? I don't look like the Simpsons. That's racially insensitive. Apologize. Stupid. Stupid? Okay, bro. What about me is stupid? Is it that I'm saying that people like you are willfully ignorant to, no, people like you, Julian Almaraz, Alcatraz. That's I'm gonna just pronounce your name because I'm stupid. I can't pronounce nothing. So I'm gonna just pronounce your name the way I want to. Julian Alcatraz, people like you. Let me tell you about people like you. People like you blindly support anything that fits your ignorant narrative. People like you don't consider anything outside of your rhetoric to be humanized. You like to dehumanize things in your mind first, and that gives you excuse for doing bad things to people because it makes you feel better about yourself. Like Julian Alcatraz, Almaraz, I don't know where you're from, but you should be concerned what's going on in Venezuela. Those are brown people. And brown people, kind of like, get the short end of the stick a lot of times. You know what I mean? So Julian Alcatraz Almaraz, you should be worried about what's going on in Venezuela. Those are brown people. You should be worried about what's going on in Nigeria, because if it can happen to them, it can happen to you, Julian Alcatraz. But maybe I'm stupid, but I don't know. People like you, sometimes you get people like you that outwardly admit their prejudice. And, people like that, I can kind of like listen to. I won't listen to you. I would rather go watch horses eat hay than listen to somebody like you. But people like you, Julian Alcatraz Almaraz, people like you would support Satan as long as you believe Satan isn't going to come to your house and burn yours down. But as long as Satan is burning down the neighborhoods that you think people that fit your agenda are getting attacked and stuff like that, you'll be cool with that. People like you, Julian Alcatraz Almaraz. Because nothing that I said was false. 40% of, Trump's current approval rating sits at around 40, depending on what poll you're watching, sits at around 40 to 45%. The lowest I've seen it at is about 35%. So currently, most Americans, less than half of America, is still supporting this guy. And it wasn't just whites that voted for it. It wasn't just Latinos that voted for it. It wasn't just blacks that voted for it. Everybody kind of voted for this, So there's a lot of people like you, Julian Alcatraz Ramirez, you know? So I don't blame you for thinking that I'm stupid, you know, because I'm calling out blatant disregard for humanity, you know? Yeah. You're not dumb. Thank you. Oh shit. Thank you, bro. I really do mean that. Thank you, bro. I appreciate that. You know, because I get called a lot of names. I just got called yellow, you know, like I'm Simpsons. I just got called dumb, I just got told to get a job. You know, don't nobody want to hear you talk. You feel me? Just let me talk. Just let me get on live and do my thing. Like, just let me be light skinned. Just let me, you feel me? Just let me talk about how most Americans are comfortable with being in a cult. Just let me talk about that. Just let me talk about it. Just let me talk about it. Please don't bully me. Please. I can't handle that. You know, like most Americans, you know, we can dish it, but we can't take it. I can dish it out. I can call you. I can talk about you, but don't talk about me. I'm American. I can't handle that. Please. He's not dumb. He's smart and attractive. Oh my gosh, thank you. Knowing you know nothing is the best way to get smarter. I agree. I'm Judy. I'm sorry for calling you yellow. Oh, thank you so much, Jesus. I was getting worried. Hey, Solar. Hope all is well. All is well. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. It's 9 and 6, by the way, the numbers of the universe, so you know we spitting right now. Yeah, I'm having fun with it today. But what I'm saying is true. So make sure you stick around for the message because it's in there. You know, it's in there. But yeah, all is well. I hope all is well with you guys and your families and your loved ones because you are loved over here. This is the biggest tribe. We are the biggest, spiritually speaking, by the way. And our platform is about to be bigger than any and everybody that you can think of. So don't forget to tap in for sure. Content House will be fully operational as far as like actual mics and the desk and stuff mid-January, you know, being that we don't wage nuclear apocalypse on the world. You know, America's really trying hard towards that. So given that that doesn't happen before mid-January, you know, you guys are going to be able to come in the Content House, you know, and do content with your boy and guests and stuff like that there. So that's cool. You know, that's pretty cool. You know, bro skipped over my comment. Remind me what it was, brother. LOL. Julian Alcatraz Ramirez, are you still talking to me? Julian Alcatraz Ramirez, you got something to say to me, boy? Boy, you know I'm American now. You got something to say to me, boy? Tell them how it is. Hi, everyone. Welcome in, guys. Welcome in. You don't know the whole story. What whole story do I not know? You know who you sound like, Julian Alcatraz Ramirez? You sound like this one guy that's been under my comments a lot, talking about when I did speak about how we're committing war crimes in the Southern Caribbean Sea by the admitted killing of at least 100 unarmed and undocumented and unidentified Venezuelan people who were just happened to be on the boat. Now, am I saying that they were not drug traffickers? I'm not stating that because we don't know. What I'm saying is that we've committed war crimes that is worthy of our country being held in contempt globally. Many nations have spoken out against this. Denmark, Greenland, a lot of European nations, you know what I mean? A lot of people have spoken out against this type of stuff here. But look here, boy, we've killed at least 100. What's the whole story that I'm missing? Your own Secretary of Defense, or Secretary of War, they changed the name, didn't they? I'm stupid though. I don't know. I don't know if I got that right. I'm stupid. Maybe I don't know. But Secretary of War, he even stated with his own little tight lips. He said, we may have killed over more than 100. I don't know. I haven't seen that with my own eyes. He said this out of his mouth. What part of that story am I missing? What part of the story about bombing Nigeria, northern Nigerian provinces in the guise of stopping Islamic, radical groups that are CIA created, am I missing? I'm dumb. Educate me, please. Or educate my life, please. Since you are the author of truth, educate me. Your own government admitted to doing this, not that they're extracting oil out of both of these regions, not that part. but they admit to attacking these places where they're innocent civilians, but it doesn't fit your narrative. So, and I just kind of called you out about that. Since it doesn't fit your narrative, you're okay with whoever gets buried in the rubble to fit your narrative and your agenda, because you're an extremist, and you're part of a cult. You're part of a cult. Welcome to your cult. I don't want to be a part of it though. I'd rather be dumb. And more than dumb, I'd rather be free. So I'd rather be free. I'd rather be free. Even though I was light skinned, I wasn't just in the house. It wasn't just light skinned as in house in the house. During those slave times, and we was in the fields too. We was getting sunburnt too. I would have been in the field getting sunburnt. I would have. Blah 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 blah. I'm out. Okay, as if I ever cared. Anyway, I love horses, and next year is the blah blah blah. You speak foolish. I don't care. I thought you were leaving, bro. I thought you were leaving. Why are you still talking? I thought you were leaving. Jeez, oh peace. Now you're a liar. I can't listen to somebody like you, Julian, a hater. You're the haters. LOL. Dude, I just apologize for calling you yellow. I'm just not reading it. You gotta be. You gotta. What's the word? You got to be patient with me. I'm dumb. You didn't hear all these names I just got called. I'm all of those things. So you gotta be patient with somebody like me. I don't know that much. You know what I mean? I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. I don't know nothing. He is cute. I agree. Okay, now Julian, now you're harassing me. Now you're harassing me, Julian. That's harassment. And I don't believe that people of the LGBTQ plus 17 plus 7 community should be attacked. But I also don't believe that I have to sit here and take sexual harassment from you. I'm getting back to the information, guys. Just let me get these comments out. Looking forward to coming to the content house. Yeah. If you guys just want to know about that, if you want to pre-book, I already got about 4 slots that are kind of like reserved. But if you guys want to do something, all you got to do is hit me up on my platform at SOLARMAN on IG, under my YouTube videos. I'll try to get back to you for sure. I'm always active on this stuff. Being as dumb as I am, I try to stay active with my stuff just because, I consider you guys family. You know what I mean? Consider me that brother that you just gotta let him talk. You just gotta let me talk. You know what I mean? Because I'm gonna be myself. You know what I'm saying? Peace, God. Welcome in. Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to double tap the screen, like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I'm finished with my topic as far as talking about how 60% of Americans are comfortable with being in a cult style regime as long as it fits their narrative. Trump is currently sitting at about a 40% approval rate at this time. I'm not politically affiliated with either party. I don't subscribe to 2 choices. I have multiple choices. That's why I always did good on multiple choice tests sometimes, most of the time, kind of, because I like choices. You're not going to just tell me I either got to go left or right. I'm going to be like, well, I'm going to sit here until I can go middle, But that's what you do when you're dumb. You just got to figure stuff out, You know what I mean? Oh, now he's harassing me now. Now I'm actually getting harassed now. I'm going to keep going with my topic. So I was talking about that kind of that occultic styled mindset is I would say is definitely demonically ran and organized, and that thought process is more so in the dark side. Because again, we know humans can only see about 13% of what's in front of them. The more in tune and an adept part of us can see about 25% or so, and that's a lot. But the phenomena of shadow people and stuff like that, and what we got going on out the corners of our eyes and stuff like that, has increased more so globally. It's not just an American phenomenon. It's not just a Southern American phenomenon. It's not just a Western phenomenon. It is a global phenomenon that has increased since about 2015. It's increased about, I want to say between 30 to 50%. A lot of people are reporting to see shadows out the corner of their eyes. How about y'all? Are y'all seeing shadow people? It's okay. I'm not going to call you crazy. I'm not going to call you crazy. I'm not going to call you crazy to your face right away, depending on what you tell me. Do you see shadow? I'm gonna tell you guys what I've seen and what I see. I told a story a couple months ago about my experience with the shadow man in the Philippines, where I had it was kind of like a Julian Alcatraz, kind of like sexual harassment type of shadow person that was trying to like harass me because I was a warlock during those times, and unbeknownst to me though, was I delving into the occult and was I practicing witchcraft? I was not purposely trying to summon things. Well, yes, I was. I wasn't purposely. I was a warlock, but I didn't know I was a warlock. Is what I'm trying to say. Is what I'm trying to say. You know what I'm saying? So unbeknownst to me, was I summoning things out of the guise of mental health and a lack of stability with mental health, and really not even mental, emotional health. So when you have a lack of stability with emotional health, you know, you start delving in different things like shrooms, acid, you know, just whatever to try to have some form of spiritual exuberance, you know? And through my experience, a shadow man came to my room after I astral projected and kind of like got behind me. And I was like, bro, I'm not into that. I'm not into that. I'm not into that. So that was that aberration was actually fully materialized into the shape of a man. I'm talking about when I'm relating these shadow things. Again, I'm just relating this to only being able to see about 13% of what's in front of you. And then, you know, the more in tune parts of us can see about 25%. But what's going on is the phenomena of seeing little shadow flashes in the corner of our eyes. That's what I'm relating this to. Have you guys experienced this? And while I'm asking you this, I want you to think about your boy, you guys' boy, Charlemagne the God. He was like on the Breakfast Club. Well, he's not on the Breakfast Club right now talking about that. But in the interview, he was like, you know, I attribute my success to the spirits that have been guiding me. Spirits being plural, that have been guiding me. That's what he attributed his success to. To spirits, plural. You know, he shouted me out. When did he shout me out? What video? What source? I mean, he did tell me that he missed me recently. And it's kind of like, bro, you got my number. Why you say that on one of my videos? You want everybody to know you missed me, nigga? No, see, now I got to use that word. You want everybody to know you missed me? You got my number. See, I just lost some people because they don't like when I say that word. But I'm like, what you say that for? You got my number. You got my number. Why'd you say that? Ew. You know? Yeah, we can do some more. You know, we can do another video, but ew. You know? I don't know. I don't know. In other news, this is not part of the topic. Well, it kind of is part of the topic because we do invoke demonic spirits by what we allow into our eye gates. I've been watching that show, Welcome to Dairy, guys. Oh, man. And the way I am, if I see a show that even piques my interest a little bit, I gotta binge it. I binged Welcome to Dairy. That's probably like one of the best, worst things that I've done recently, man. I watched it with my aunt because I had to make sure that she got scared with me too. Yeah, man, it's definitely super demonic. But what's demonic, man? But it's definitely super demonic, just like what's the Stranger Things? And I purposely didn't watch that in my house. I went to her house to watch it. Yeah, I went to my aunt's house to watch it. Yeah. Charlemagne the God said that he attributes his success in his recent $200 million contract that he just recently signed to following the guide of spirits. But he also claims to be a godly man. What God is he referring to? Charlemagne, you have to give us answers now. I demand them now. What gods are you referring to? Welcome in, everybody. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. We are the biggest, by the way. I go by the name SOLARMAN. Yeah, we are the biggest. Yeah, we're the biggest. We're bigger than everybody you can think of, spiritually speaking. And our platform is about to be bigger than them as well. So don't forget to tap in. I appreciate y'all being here. Yeah. You should definitely tap in with me if you have any ideas. I'm definitely welcome. Here to listen to them for sure. I appreciate you being here. So, anyways, let me talk about more about the invoking demonic spirits and stuff like that. Because do I think that Charlemagne was being entertained by demonic spirits, being that he's in the entertainment industry, being that his guys to his rise of fame has kind of been centered around gossip and kind of like the underbelly of media. Do I think that that's demonically centered? Not intentionally. Yeah, I don't think he's intentionally, trying to be around demons. I don't think he's intentionally, But what do I know? Again, I'm dumb. But I don't think he's intentionally trying to invoke demons. But I tell you that a lot of people in his position do intentionally try to invoke demons. You know who did intentionally? He was my brother. He kind of like he kind of like the reason that I'm not like full heavy in the music industry right now. Because he did it the exact way I would have did it. And his name was Jase Onfroy. Y'all know Jase? Come alive now, Jase, cause I need an angel. Come alive now, Jase. Y'all know Jase? If you know Jase, type. If you know who Jase is, what his rap name was, type it in right now. Cause I don't think y'all know who that is. Jase Onfroy. Type it in right now. Who's Jase Onfroy? 5, 4, 3, 2, 1. Don't nobody know what Jase Onfroy was? Really? Y'all know my brother? Y'all know XXXTentacion? XXXTentacion. He attributed his success to the power of manifestation. He often talked about the laws of manifestation and the spiritual principalities that governed it. And he talked about the power of positive thinking. This is what Jase used to talk about. So Jase was also an avid a spiritual occultic book reader. His manager, his original manager, the one that blew up the one that blew up after he made the song. I'm like, sure, your man's can't keep my pants. My man don't want me no more. She keep me out on that road. I'm like, about 10. Just about to pint in a booth. But yeah, that song. His manager was a devout Satanist. Is a devout Satanist. Many members of his clan were devout Satanists, outwardly so, and they outwardly used to do demonic rituals around a 3D Baphomet that they kept in the manager's home, where they would make blood rituals and they would make small sacrifices too. Part of his claim to success was praying to a pagan goddess, demon, serpent by the name of Hecate. Some of you warlocks in here might be like, you don't know nothing about no Hecate. She's the goddess of prosperity and wisdom and time. Yeah, some of you people wouldn't know a maggot from a fly. That didn't sound that cool. But what I meant by that was some of you people don't know what you do. I was one of you people. I was one of you people. I was one of you people. I used to do stuff. I just told y'all I conjured a shadow, man, and I didn't know why. Cause I wanted stuff. I wanted a girl. I wanted Thana. That's why I was doing witchcraft in the Philippines. I wanted Thana May. She was half Thai, half Filipino. She was thick and curt. Boy, I wanted Thana. And I was willing to do everything but sell my soul, I thought, to get her. Jase Onfroy was in prison. He wasn't in prison. He was in jail. But he had the what's the word? He had the potential to get sent upstate because of his charges. Jase Onfroy was a delinquent. He was like me a lot. We got kicked out of the house at a young age. We had to, or we was raised by single beautiful mothers. But being that, we weren't the biggest kids, but we weren't like, we were just like kind of like angry, I was kind of like, Jase was kind of like my evil twin, and I was kind of like, but we were the same in a lot. Like he was like, angry and stuff. I was angry too, but I was like nice angry. He was like mad angry. He was like mad angry. I was like nice angry, and like he got tattoos and stuff. I got kicked out the country when I was 16, when I was 17, I'm sorry. So that stopped me. I couldn't get tattoos where I went. So that stopped me from inevitably getting tatted all over my face and stuff like that. You know what I mean? My life got saved at the age of 17. So that's why I'm able to be in front of y'all right now. Otherwise I would have looked just like him. And I would have been doing it just like him. And then I probably would have died. So Jase on for a prayer to a goddess named Hecate. He would repeat prayers of deliverance to the goddess Hecate, because again, I just told y'all that she is the goddess and the bringer of prosperity and good fortune. You just have to make a barter with her. I don't know about you, but the only barter that I want to make is that I'm going to spread the good news. And because I be hearing sometimes people talk about submitting ain't good. You don't need to submit to nothing. The only thing you need to submit to is your higher self. Your higher self is submitting to gravity. You're always submitting to something. So whether you're consciously doing it or unconsciously doing it, you better know that you're doing it. So I'd rather do it consciously. And so what Jase was doing consciously was he was making a barter with his own spiritual essence. First, he tried to sacrifice. He sacrificed a lot of people. I believe he sacrificed Jocelyn. That's who he made that song about, Jocelyn Flores. She killed herself. So they say. He tried to sacrifice his girlfriend. He tried to sacrifice, or he thought about sacrificing Ski Mask, the slump god. Because these entities, they need blood essence in order for you to prosper. Just like Pennywise the clown, they feed off of fear, and they feed off of the stuff that comes out of like your fear and out of like your blood essence, because they're abominable species. They're beings of pure chaos. They don't have any. They don't have what we have. Me and you have. I can be yellow. I can have these cheeks that's even though I'm yellow. But I got this blood running through my body. That's not what these beings have. They want what we have. And they'll give you illusions of success in order to have whatever you want. Guys, you guys just got to hang on with me. Hopefully my phone don't die again. I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta use the bathroom. I gotta use the bathroom. Yeah, I muted you for sure. Yeah, I've been thinking about writing a book. But who reads books? Nerd. Who reads books? How many people you read books? I used to read books, but it's like hard for me to read a book nowadays. I ain't gonna lie to you. I'd rather watch a video. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I'd rather watch a video. I'd rather watch a video. I ain't gonna hold you. Yeah, I ain't gonna hold you. I'd rather watch a video. Yeah, I'd rather watch a video. But, SOLARMAN Productions is definitely here though. We producing movies for sure. Anyways, Jase would pray to this. He would pray to this deity for deliverance, and what Jase would do is he would have his one of his not label mates, one of his group mates, bring the book, one of her divine scriptures, where she has these prayers in, where that feminine spirit, where that feminine demonic parasite has its prayers to conjure it from, and they would repeat those prayers over the phone, and he would do so frequently over like a 90 to 120 day period, and through that he was able to gain his freedom. But through that he was willing to sacrifice his own life, because inevitably that's what he ended up having to do. He tried to That's when Ski Mask, Slump God, and all these other people come into play because he tried to substitute his life, tried to substitute, having to sacrifice his own life with giving one of their lives. He tried to do that, but it didn't work out that way, and he understood why. That's why you kind of seen the turnaround of him trying to give his life, into a positive direction. But it was too late. So I say all that to say he's just a blatant case. But then you also got I could do another rapper. Let's do Jeffrey. Y'all know Jeffrey? Y'all know Jeffrey? I don't know Jeffrey last name, but y'all know Jeffrey. Fuck a girl. The little girl. Is that a little girl or is that a little boy? That's a boy. That be bedazzling his face with the pink dreads. That's a boy. That's a boy that do that, right? That's a boy, right? Jeffrey, that be wearing little girl clothes, that came up wearing little girl clothes, painting his nails, calling boys hubby and all that. That was a boy, right? Or was that a girl? I don't know. But anyways, I don't know. Which I don't know about Jeffrey is that part of his indictment, part of the things that was testified to be true from the testimonies of the police officers that raided his compound. They call it the snake pit, by the way, the serpent pit, because that's where demons got to conjure the snake pit. In this compound, they found during the time of his arrest, there was an active participation of a goat sacrifice ritual going on in his compound. That was actively going on as he was being apprehended by police officers. This is documented. You can go read this for yourself. These things are not jokes, people. You and I can debate if this stuff works and if this stuff real. You're talking to somebody who knows it's real. I know it's real. I know it's real, guys. I just use my power for good now, guys. I use my power for good. Did I see 607 Unc sacrificing goats? No. But he tried to sacrifice me, guys. He tried. And I escaped. I'm the only one that looked him in his eye, and I told him I'm leaving. And he tried to get me to stay. And then when I didn't stay, he mocked me. He laughed at me because he couldn't sacrifice me anymore. And then later, maybe 30 days later, probably like 60 days later, maybe less than that, he wanted to do some content with me while he was in Dallas, and then I had to tell him how much of a female dog he was, for trying to play with a child of God. So, yeah, people know that this stuff is real, people. This stuff is only fabricated to those of you that would like to believe that reality is as they state. But reality isn't as they state, because going back to my earlier point, this current administration is telling us that the reason that we're bombing northern Nigeria and the reason that we're about to occupy Venezuela and go full-on fledged war and destroying and killing, 100 unprosecuted, undocumented Venezuelans. The reason that we're doing that is for national security. And that's completely false. And it's easily proven to be so. So reality, just in that small context, is not what you think it is. This stuff is real. It really does happen. I won't tell you that it really works, Skrilla. I won't tell you that what you're doing is really working. I mean, right now, what you're doing is effective. But it's an illusion. That's what it is. Did you meet us with extra sacrifice and ski mask? Yep. Good night. Night, dog. We all know Jeffrey Dahmer. Yep. How do you know he was trying to sacrifice you? Because he wanted me in his code. And I didn't want to be in his code. And because he didn't respect me like I needed to be respected, as a child of God and as a king. He didn't respect me like I needed to be respected. Oh my gosh. Ew. Is that the light, or is this my teeth just ew? Oh my gosh. Wow. I'm having an existential crisis right now. My teeth have never looked this yellow. Ew. Anyways. Yeah. And because he burns stuff, he be burning money, and, he be putting money in jars, and he said that attracts him more money. And, he does rituals. He says, what's wrong with a ritual? We all do rituals every day. And I don't disagree with that. But I don't need anything outside of myself to bring what I need to me. Everything I need for me is already within me. And all I have to do is call it to me because it's mine already. And that's a fact. That's a fact. That's a fact. So that's what's going on in the world right now. And also, what just recently happened, in the way that I know that most people are complicit and willing and willfully ready to be in a cult, is because stuff be happening in front of y'all, and y'all don't even be saying nothing about it. I just did a video about how the Patriot Games, the Hunger Games, is an actual real thing, and it's starting next summer. And didn't nobody say nothing. I got a couple that's crazies, but y'all still talking about who's the better rapper, NBA Youngboy or NLA Chopper. That's what y'all talking to me about. Y'all still asking me questions about, who got the best rappers. That's what y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to talk about the best rappers. Y'all want to talk about that NLA Chopper diss with dissing Youngboy. Y'all want to talk about how this is a smaller scale Drake and Kendrick Lamar beef. That's what y'all want to talk about. Y'all want to talk about how the rap industry, is at the lowest that it's ever been within its 40-year time span, and that they're doing everything desperately trying to accumulate and generate a buzz for it. So they're using their biggest puppets. That's what y'all want to talk about. That's what y'all want to talk about. Y'all don't want to talk about the Patriot Games. How the Hunger Games wasn't a fictional book. It was just a rough translation of a near apocalyptic future. That's what y'all want to talk about. That's what y'all want to talk about. The Hunger Game thing is the Patriot Games. The Patriot Games is, you can Google this, the Patriot Games is getting ready to start next spring or next summer. And it's going to be it's a youth organized game. So unlike the Olympics, in the Junior Olympics, I guess, it just more so focuses on the youth, and it brings the best talents from each city and district, male and female, and they're going to compete in non-physical games for now. That's what the Patriot Games are. Because, that's what we need to focus on right now, the Patriot Games, distraction. And America's going to participate because America is complicit. I'm complicit because I'm not doing January 6th, and I'm not storming the Capitol because I have treason, unpatriotic, domestic terrorist in my White House. I'm unpatriotic. Me. Because I'm not doing nothing about it. Yeah, I'm complicit. I'm talking about it, though. You know what I'm saying? I'm talking about it. And I want to talk about it a little bit more. You know what I want to talk about? You welcome, dog. But y'all don't be asking me what I want to talk about. You know what I'm saying? What about me? I want to talk about shadow people. Can we talk about that some more? I want to talk about some shadow people some more. Can we talk about that? And my experiences with shadow people? Why don't y'all ever ask me what are my experiences and how do they relate right now? Y'all should ask me that. Don't y'all want to know where they come from? Thank you, man. I just needed some permission. Because it'd be such a struggle. It'd be a struggle, bro. It'd be a struggle to be like, it'd be a struggle, bro. It'd be a struggle to be like, to try to like tell y'all what's going on. Y'all don't be caring. Y'all don't be caring. Y'all don't be caring. The shadow people are actually the real inhabitants of this realm. They are not what you consider the Watchers. They are the children of the fallen. So are they the Nephilim? They're kind of like in between. The shadow people are kind of like they've been here a long time. We're the aliens, or maybe we're the simulation. We're the avatars. That's a better one. We're the players of the game, of the current game. But but the shadow people are kind of like, the ones that were playing like originally. Those are the shadow people. And they kind of like been here since like whatever you consider dinosaurs to be. And let's talk about dinosaurs. Dinosaurs aren't real, people. Not in the way that we know them and understand them. Dinosaurs aren't real. No, no. Um, this is what's going on. A couple weeks ago, we talked about Tartaria and things to that effect. We talked about how giant human bones or humanoid bones used to be presented in local museums up until about the mid 2000s. I'd say about 2006 or so. It was probably when they started disappearing from museums. The Smithsonian has a monopoly over all information, and it gets sold to private interest groups kind of immediately. So if you're looking for proof for any of these things anymore, you kind of just have to believe word of mouth of most people who saw this stuff to be true. So what I'm saying is, when you see stuff in the museum, those are only caster, meaning like they made a rendition of what they think that they look like bones, and they organize the bones to fit what they say it looked like. And then even what they put on display is only about, I'll give it as high as 40%, but that's probably a very generous number. It's probably about 25% of what's actually found. The Smithsonian is where, Smithsonian is kind of like, it's kind of like the New World Order. They're kind of like the what's the word? The official museum of the New World Order, for sure. Dinosaurs are real. Prove it. What's a dinosaur? Jurassic Park? Those are splice monsters that they made on Jurassic Park. Okay, you don't want to say that. You want to say, okay, they look like birds. Okay, so then what, dragons? Are they admitting dragons are real now? Are they teasing you with dragon information? Is that what they're doing? Because bird bones don't really like calcify that good, so I don't know. Dinosaurs in the way that you understand them aren't real. No. What you're seeing is beings from otherworld or Mars, the Mars. That's what you're seeing. Those beings that are still over there right now. That's what you're seeing. They're slowly showing you things at your need to know basis. I just told you that the narrative can be changed right in your face, even if you can prove that it's false. This current administration is proving that. And you still want to tell me that the official narrative is true. Why do you believe in the official narrative? Period. I'm not telling you to go crazy. All I'm saying is crazy to believe that it's not crazy. Have you ever seen a woolly mammoth skull? Have you ever seen that? What about everything? What This makes me emotional, bro. Cause it's like I be trying to talk to y'all, and y'all still be trying to act like stuff is just normal. I just told you I saw a shadow, man, in the Philippines. Y'all be seeing, and most people are starting to see the shadow figures in the corner of their eyes. So what makes you think that? I don't know, man. I don't know. I don't know. I was about to ask that. Rap game is done now. Yeah, the rap game been done, bro. Rap game is because it's over. It's ran by Jewish Christian Zionist. If that is even that's a thing, but it's ran by Zionist. You know who that's a different topic. Hold on, let me stay on the dinosaur thing very briefly, even though that this wasn't in my thumbnail. Dinosaurs aren't real. You got to understand. You're talking to somebody who grew up with Jurassic Park. Like that was my favorite movie. That's Jurassic Park is my childhood. Like Jurassic surround sounds in my house. Growing up listening to Jurassic Park, all I wanted to watch was Jurassic Park. I made my father listen to watch Jurassic Park with me over and over and over and over. Dinosaurs, me. So you got to understand that this. Why are y'all calling me Unc? I'm not that old, okay? I'm not that old, all right? Just because I'm getting older, technically, doesn't mean that I'm Unc. You're gonna hurt my feelings. And if y'all wanna see a light-skinned man cry, then keep hurting my feelings. So the official narrative of dinosaurs is completely false. Given again that even in recent times we used to believe that dinosaurs walked around with scales and big old lizards and stuff like that. You know, the reptilian theory. Now we're understanding that most of them were birds, big old birds. So again, you're talking about. So this brings us back to a dragon-esque type of theory. The official narrative keeps changing as we get closer to a dystopian style future. The official narrative is only what the private sector allows it to be, because the private sector, which Smithsonian is funded and ran through and by, and that's since the British Crown. That's really since ancient Rome. Ancient Rome is the private sector. That's why the Roman archives have they have over 90% of the world's treasure, and artifacts and missing books of the Bible that we will never be able to access because it's in the archive. And Rome is its own country and its own rules, because because that's the last pillar of the old world. So the official narrative is whatever the private sector says it's going to be, and the private sector will only say what fits their narrative. Dinosaurs aren't real. Dragons were real. Or dinosaurs aren't real in the way that we consider them to be real, to what they look like. Monsters are real. Put it like that. Monsters are real. Bigfoots are real. Dragons are real, were real. Giants are real, were real. Fairy tales are real. And the illusion is what you and I wake up to every day. The illusion is breathing in those toxic fumes through those chemtrails and those heavy metals that they put in the air, and going through a cycle that messes up your natural circadian rhythm under the guise of a 40-hour work week that takes up all of your natural born life. That's not real. That's not real. All that other stuff is real. All that other stuff is real. I'm clipping that, by the way. That is such a humbling thing, bro. I've never had somebody say that they're gonna clip one of my. Well, yeah, yes, I have. I have a bunch of times, but not in recent times. They only do it like when I'm crashing out, or when I'm calling 607 Unc a female dog, or when I'm telling people that are outwardly bigoted and racially prejudiced, their position in life and who they are really. That's when people only want to clip me. They don't ever want to clip when I'm talking about something of substance. So that's a compliment, bro. I appreciate that. My fault, Unc. You look great for you. He don't want me to be on live, y'all. He don't want me to be on live. They don't want me to be on live. Y'all want to, you don't really want me to be here. You don't really want me to be here. You want to keep telling me I look like I'm Unc. That's what you want to do. But if I come back with a sword, you're going to call me crazy. If I come back with a sword. Okay. Okay. You know, I can't. Let me see how much longer I can tolerate this disrespect. You know what I'm saying? Let me see how much longer I. Talking about don't go solo. Talking about don't go solo mode. Talking about don't go solo mode. Talking about don't. I done broke my phone. Talking about don't go solo mode. Oh, y'all looking at my hair. Oh man, y'all looking at my hair. Oh man. Talking about don't go solo mode. Talking about don't go solo mode. Talking about telling me what the. Hold on. Y'all weren't supposed to see that. You ain't see that. Y'all ain't see that. 607 Cut that part out. Y'all ain't see that. Talking about don't go solo mode. You don't listen. You don't listen. Talking about don't go solo mode. Talking about don't go solo mode. So what you guys gotta understand, people, is that I'm not gonna leave you with a conclusion. Y'all can't see with that shit on. I'm not gonna leave you with a conclusion as to what we have here. All I'm gonna say is that 60% of people are comfortable with being in a cult. All I'm gonna say is that we're actively committing war crimes all over the world, particularly in Nigeria, particularly in Venezuela right now, under the guise of national security and under the guise of religious freedom, as if America has ever cared about religious freedom. That's what I'm gonna say. That is what I'm going to say. I'll give you guys until 6:33 to ask any questions or comments or concerns, you know. But other than that, what I'm gonna say is that there's hope. You know, I've been thinking about making a video too about hope. You know, because I be reporting the news. You know, as I see it. You know, I try to like what I'm trying to do is like, or what I'm doing, or what I see my platform being, and as it's growing, I'm kind of like a buffer between like, you know, what's going on to like, you know, putting it into like an understandable approach as much as I can. You know I be speaking fast and stuff sometimes, so I'm working on that. But I really do care about y'all, and I want y'all to know what's going on around you. And I want you to know that it's not just you who stays up at night. It's not just you. You know, a lot of the world is staying up at night. A lot of the world is going through a change. A shift is happening. You know, a shift is happening. And whether it's intentionally being done by human populationists and religious radicals that are actively trying to insert themselves into religious prophecy and act out global events to make sure that the religious prophecy is fulfilled, and warmongering, war. What's the word? People that profit off of war. You know, people that make the guns and the bullets and all that type of stuff. They have to have wars in order for this stuff to be sold. So, like, other than them people, there is hope. The hope is in the power of unity. That's the hope. There's hope. How do you feel about 21 and Kendrick advocating saying stand out the streets when 21 mainly was the one promoting the streets? I said I wasn't gonna talk about none of these whorish rappers, but I appreciate the comment. It was in good faith. For any of us that's ever done illicit drugs or anything like that, or any type of illicit activity, any type of like, you know, me, I'll use myself. You know, I don't have any, I don't have any problem or any qualms with, you know, being fully transparent on here. So that way, if I ever do get exposed by one of these haters, you know, especially when I start hitting over 1 million views, yeah, I can't say that I'm exposed. You know, my day ones can't say I'm exposed myself first. I had a pill addiction when I was in college. I had a pill addiction. I was addicted to tramadol. Tramadol is an opioid for painkillers. I started it because I have this condition in my knees called Oscom Schlatter's. where fluid builds up in my knees and stuff like that. Not that I got to get it drained or anything like that. Probably I should, but it just requires intensive physical therapy, and that's through years of sports and growing and stuff like that. So, anyways, tramadol. Um, I really like tramadol. I really, 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 really like tramadol. And, I would take it so often. And what made me stop taking tramadol, well, let me tell you what it made me feel like. Not that you should do it, but I'm going to tell you why you shouldn't do it. So listen to the whole story. It made me feel like I was in a euphoric state, like I was. See the way I started talking, it's like I just got high again. But I was in a euphoric state, and I felt like my body was floating. So I would play full. I played basketball in college too, so I played full games on tramadol. And I would be high. But I'd be floating on the basketball court though. You know. Um, and it also helped me deal with my anxiety because I had crippling anxiety then too because I did not know how to regulate my emotions naturally because I did not have discipline. So, discipline of the mind and the spirit, by the way. Anyways, it made me in a euphoric state and it made me feel like I could do anything. So, you don't want to get rid of that feeling. What made me get rid of the feeling is that I would be playing pickup gangs outside on campus sometimes or wherever. And I would be playing with people that I just met the other day. And I would have conversations with these people and everything. And then when I would see them the next time, I would not recognize them. I would not remember them. And when I realized that, one particular dude made me realize that because he was smiling at me, and then I didn't know why he was smiling at me, and he was like, "What's up, bro?" And then we after he walked by me, I was like, "Whoa, that's the guy from the other day. I didn't even remember him. Yo, I'm tripping." Anyways, I cut the drug cold turkey. I didn't take it no more, even if I was in pain with my knees or with my body, whatever the case. I didn't take it no more. And I say all that to say what happens when you're sober minded, like these people, like 21 is. What happens when you're sober minded, and I'm not saying he done drugs or anything like that, but when you're sober minded after the high of success has, and he's been high off success. So after the high and the heights of success has finally diluted and concluded, and you're now at a place to where you're not on a steady incline, but you're in a plateau now, and you're in a flat surface, and you're able to, and you're seeing that people really don't care anymore. You're not selling albums like that anymore. People really don't buy into the whole gangster image anymore. We don't care. It's kind of corny now. So what happens when you have that? You have a clarity that reaches you, that makes you realize that, man, I'm a lame and I'm a loser. And if that's not his clarity, his other clarity is, man, none of us are selling any albums but Gunner. You know why Gunner's selling right now? Because Gunner's selling right now is because we're in an age of transparency. We're in an age where realness, regardless of if it was previously classified as lame or a snitch or just a loser or whatever the case may have been, we're in a place now where this current generation and generations moving forward don't value the cool guy anymore. The cool guy is the one that's most transparent. Gunner's been very transparent. We've seen Gunner. We've seen Gunner. We've seen his falls. We've seen him come back up. We like Gunner because he's being fully transparently him. That's why he's selling, and he makes good music. He makes undeniable music. You can hate Gunner all you want to, but you can't admit is that him all alone, someone else strong. He makes good songs. He does. So because we value this, and 21 Savage is not a stupid man. I mean, he's a British man. He's an English man. They're astute. They're astute people. Because he's an aware person, he sees this and he's like, yo, we were better when we were together. It all made sense. Now we're not together no more. It don't make sense. We all trying to do our own thing. We all trying to talk about this street stuff. It don't make sense. He's also, 21 Savage is also raising kids as a wealthy man now. Fatherhood changes you. It should change you. And he's realizing the world that they left behind. Your soul will settle. Why do you think NBA YoungBoy be having moments where he lets us know that he's a demonic person and he's in an industry full of demons? Because the energy does settle eventually. These people still have souls. DDG wasn't lying when he said, how can you sell something that's in your body? You know? Moments of clarity is what this is. It's just coming at a very peculiar time because they're not selling albums no more. Don't nobody care about 21 Savage. Don't nobody care about no Young Thug because they suck right now. Don't nobody care about no Lil Baby because they suck right now. Don't nobody care about no Wham because he's Pluto because they suck. That's what's going on with that. Debate Gypsy Crusader. I think that's what you said earlier, bro. I don't know who that is, bro. You feel me? Help me set that up. I don't know who Gypsy Crusader is, bro. Who is that? You know what I'm gonna start doing? I'm gonna start debating on TikTok. That's what I'm gonna start doing. You know, so I can like make sure I get my facts together because people be, Black Lives Matter destroyed more property than any other blah, blah, blah. Black people sold blacks into slaves. You know, stuff like that. You know, but who's Gypsy Crusader, bro? Who is this person? And why, and how would they be relevant to me? You know, I'm curious about that. Be grounded. Groundedness is so groundedness. Let's talk about briefly right now how you can get grounded right now. The way you can get grounded right now is by allowing yourself to be comfortable wherever you're at. You should be content, not complacent. I'm content with the fact that, I'm in this. So I'm gonna act like I was me before I'm me right now. So I'm gonna be content with living in my mama house. I'm gonna be content with not having a job. I'm gonna be content with not even having a job, not having no money in my pocket. I'm gonna be content with not having a girlfriend. I'm gonna be content with just feeling and acting like a loser. I'm not gonna be complacent about that though. Meaning that I understand and I'm aware of where I'm at right now. Exactly where I'm at and who I am right now. I'm not gonna be complacent about that. I'm going to change that. How do I change that? In small increments. I've made videos on this, but I'll tell you very briefly. I'm gonna start by making up my bed every day. That's gonna ground me. I'm gonna start by watching my thoughts every day. No, I can't control everything that I think right away, but I can be aware of what I think. I like that thought. I do not like that thought. I can do that for at least 5 minutes out of the day. I can. I'm going to be content with where I am. I am not going to be complacent. Now, this me right now, I'm going to be content with my, I said 5 bedrooms before on another video. I lied. It's 4 bedrooms, but it's almost 5. I'm going to be content with my 4 bedroom, 4 bath, 3-story home. I'm going to be content with this. I'm not going to be complacent because I know that I can get another one of these. I know that I can use this to fund and to help somebody. My contention is where I'm at right now. I'm going to be content with having 7 people on my live and 12 likes. I'm not going to be complacent about it because spiritually, I'm the biggest. Spiritually, there's 900 people on my live and there's 1,200 likes. I ain't say, don't laugh at my math, but you get the idea. I'm going to be content. I'm not going to be complacent. There you go. I agree and glad you got right. And where you play college ball at. Right on, bro. I appreciate you saying that. I played in the Philippines. I went to a school called SOLARMAN University. It's the oldest Protestant school in the Philippines. And I went there. I didn't graduate, but I went there though, for sure. But yeah, I'm glad I got right too. That wasn't nothing but God. That wasn't nothing but Jesus. You know what I'm saying? That wasn't nothing but Jesus. Because there's no reason that I should have lived. There's plenty of opportunities for me to die. Plenty, not just then. There's so many different times in my life, like, So again, it I don't have no choice but to be, content. You know, I'm grateful. uh Devils, there, the fallen demons are the spirits of the Nephilim, for sure. So the spirits of the Nephilim. So when the flood happened, all the giants didn't die. You know, we like to believe that they all did. It killed out most of them. So it was like a good. So it's like when I used to be a pest control exterminator too. Part of my side businesses too is pest control too. One of my, I got my own pest control company too. I don't know if y'all know that about me. 607 Unc tried to make fun of me for that too. Because he just likes picking on people. He tried to make fun of me for having a hustle. You be killing rats and roaches. I was supposed to. Should I talk about you? I'm gonna talk about you, bro. 607 Aunt is house is infested with rats, and I didn't kill him on purpose because he made me mad. He even offered me a job to kill him at the house. I ain't want to do that. Let it be infested. You deserve it, bro. I hope that there are even more. So now, I hope that they started coming in the house. Actually, I don't hope that. Actually, I don't hope that. But yeah. I don't even remember the question. Oh yeah, all the all the Nephilim did not die during the flood. No, they didn't die. All of them didn't die during the flood. That's why after the flood, we got stories like David and Goliath. There were still races of giants that existed throughout the kingdoms. That's why even up to the mid 2000s in our occupation in Afghanistan and Iraq and stuff like that. You got soldiers talking about having run-ins with pale red-haired giants in caves and stuff. These races still exist in people. That's why you got so many tall, freakishly weird basketball players. These races still exist within people and all races of people. You know, the spirits of the fallen still exist within people. You know, so that's that. Selling your soul equals going against your morals and feeling regret. That is correct. A dragon. That is correct. He might call you the hard R. Oh man, now you got me interested. Gypsy might call me the hard R. Oh, so let's talk about that real quick. That's a great little segue. I appreciate you bringing that up because I just recently realized that not only is most Americans, this is good that you said that because this ties this to my original point, and that is most Americans are cool with being in a cult. Um, Most people also we're also the kind of the good thing about this time and day to be alive is that it exposes who people really want to be and who people really are. We like to believe that we're in a post-racial society where everything is kumbaya and everybody gets along. And what a lot of bigoted people would like to say is that a lot of quote unquote black people or brown people are very racist and outright bigoted. And I wouldn't disagree that there's a lot of people in my ethnic group that are bigoted, for sure. I was one of them. Or that are racist, black supremacists or, black nationalists. I would not disagree with you at all. That those type of people exist in every ethnic group. But what I'm getting to find out is that that word, the hard R, nigger, exists as a euphemism to suck the soul or the life out of the individual that is being used against. That is kind of like the last and final straw. Just like y'all know that YouTuber or TikTok dude that would make videos walking around different black people and calling us niggers, and he would have a gun on his hip as well while he would do so, and that was part of his platform to say that he has free speech. Charlie Kirk would also advocate for this guy. He said he would probably say that I don't agree with what he's saying, but he should be allowed to say it. I don't disagree. You know, I don't disagree that you should be able to say whatever you want, but I also don't. So in that same breath, do I think that people should be hurt by the things that they say? If I told you that all women deserve to be raped, do I deserve to get hurt for that? You guys let me know. Or if I told you that all little boys and little girls should be forced to be in forced prison, to be should be slaves. Do I deserve to get hurt for that? I think at the very least, I should have my chin tested. At the very least, I should have, you know, some type of society only operates correctly when individuals want to participate willfully and peacefully, you know, willfully and peacefully. Society is only society only operates successfully when people want to participate in it willfully and peacefully. You are allowed to be against society and the not even just society. You're allowed to be against the moral fabric of society. But with that, just like a body system, because we are a body, you have what's called white blood cells that pushes out infection. So just in that same breath, that's a virus, and it needs to be pushed out. You get me? It's a virus. It needs to be pushed out. So you should be able to say whatever you want. In that same breath, I should be able to, as a willful and morally upright citizen of society, I should be able to push out viruses in society as well. To a degree, I'm not saying that people have to die. Uh, that ruined it. It might have ruined it. Can you hear me? Can y'all hear me still? Thumbs up. Let me know. Somebody let me know, please, right away. Because I don't like keep talking if y'all can't hear me. Can y'all hear me? Yo, 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 yo. Can y'all hear me? Yo, yo. Can you hear me? Please let me know. Somebody please let me know. Now, please. Can you hear me? Cool. Thank you. Thank you. Thank you. Um, I believe that what the heck? What the heck is that? Why you do the nose thing? Okay, cool. Cool, cool, cool. I believe that in order for society again to operate properly, that we have to have, there's all different bodies that make up. Part of our body is, the part of him, that people that feel like they should be able to say whatever they want to say to whoever they want to say, even if it's, evil and if it incites an evil rhetoric. Like, yeah, you should be able to call me a nigger. But I should also be able to tell you that if you call me a nigger, that's like an assault to me. You're assaulting me. You're hurting me. Words don't hurt. Words hurt your mama, boy. That's what Charleston White said. Words hurt society. Ask Hitler. Again, I don't think that you should be killed. But that's a tough conversation, bro. I don't say that I have the answers, bro. I I don't say that I have the answers, bro. All I know is that, yeah, I just seen that comment though. Words, every action has a reaction, and that's a fact. I don't have all the answers. Do I think people should be able to speak their truth? I would rather know that you feel like you should be able to call me a nigger. I would rather know that about you. So I think that that's a good thing. Um, what should happen to you? Um, there's going to be facets of me that allow you to say whatever you want to say, and and I would defend your right to say that, bro. um but also there's going to be other facets of me that are like, nah, bro, I don't give a damn about what he talking about over here. I don't care if he let you say that. If you say that to me, bro, I'm gonna kill you. I'm gonna hurt you, or at least hurt you very badly. You know what I mean? So I think all of that's good, honestly. I think it's all good for society. I do i do but the ledger leans more on one side, though, being worse. For people that just those type of people, they want society to crumble, because they don't believe that anybody should have access to freedom. Because he's a coward. If you're gonna call me a nigger, why do you walk around with a gun on your hip? Because you know that you're playing with death. That's why he walks around with a gun on his hip calling people niggers. Because he walks around, because he's playing with death. He's suicidal. He's suicidal. Dude was suicidal, for sure. For sure. You will hit a million soon to come. Thank you, bro. God willing. Um, that just almost brought tears in my eyes, bro, because I can see it. And I do work hard for this shit. I do care. Yeah, soon. Soon. Nephilim. Unc was just joking with you, gang. Um, boy, I done did so many lies on that boy. I don't care if he was joking, nigga. Ain't no, he was joking at my expense. You feel me? Keep talking about the giants falling angles. We far from utopia. I would have popped that way, boy. Just trying to create hella division. Facts. Um, last thing I'll say about fallen angels is that we do invoke these spirits. So these things don't have any rights to the physical 3D realm. I'll leave you guys with this thought. These things don't have any rights to the physical 3D realm. So what they have to do is they have to invoke themselves through our eye portals, and they do that through popular media because for the most part we won't just sit and get conditioned through TV program and just like vroom, 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 vroom. It has to be through something entertaining, like a Stranger Things or like a Welcome to Dairy. These people, these producers of these creative directors of these fashion shows, of these movies, of these, of culture are openly demonic and open Thelемist, which is leading to Aleister Crowley, do what thou wilt, and invoking the gods of old, and open Satanists. So these you have to be careful what you allow your eye portals to engage with, because even if you are a strong-willed person, your subconscious is not as aware as you, and your subconscious downloads all this shit. You feel me? Your subconscious is downloading all that shit from Stranger Things and Welcome to Dairy, and is downloading all that demonic activity. You got to be careful about it. Facts. Playing ball in the Philippines, I understand. I know the feeling. Right on. You played in the Philippines, or did you play ball? Every action has a reflection, but we'll speak to you in an intellectual manner for the most part. Yeah. There's no, and that's what another thing I done realized too about people. There's no debating with somebody who considers you, because for you to call me a nigger, even though that word is not even their word. Again, these people don't come up with anything. These people don't have any. They've created nothing in modern culture whatsoever. So even that nigger word comes from negro, which comes from negus. So which is an African word. So but what the now connotation of the word is to dehumanize me. So there's no arguing or there's no debating with someone who doesn't view me as a human. You know what I'm saying? Like, there's no debating with that. What can I do? All his last result is to call me a nigger. So what? You're a nigger. You feel me? Like, yeah, I know I'm wrong. Yeah, I know I support murdering of children and women as long as it fits my agenda. But so what? You're a nigger. That's the argument. There's no debating with that. Not one that leads to anywhere of, getting anywhere. I don't know. Maybe I'm wrong about that. But I found that there's no debating with those people because they don't view you as people. And that's kind of like the most monkey thing you can do, is look at a person like they're not a person. Only a monkey would do that because they're a monkey. And a monkey wouldn't be able to see another person as a person because they're not a person themselves. They're a monkey, you know? Shaking my head, shit should get you deleted, but hey, I don't make the rules. Yeah, I don't think you should be deleted for that either, bro. I want to know who these people are. I want to be able to know who you are. Just like you should know if I got love in my heart, you can be able to look in my eyes. I be looking in these people's eyes, bro. I want to know I want to know who my enemy is so I can pray for him. I pray that I never have to come across him so I don't have to kill him or be killed by him. You should know what they look like, what the spirit looks like. It's important. That's why I be all close to the phone and stuff. I want y'all to know my spirit. Test my spirit. Take it back to your God. Am I telling you the truth or not? I can see it too. Capital Steez, that's 47. No interruptions. Coming live from Fabulous Junction and making it hard to function, breaking down your sound system and governmental corruption. So step aside, pumpkin. Cool, jump into assumption. The illest cast to ever rap. I call it vibratings. Yeah, boy, Steezes forever. But yeah, he was he had spirits that was, I might do a whole live on him tomorrow for sure. Not in the Philippines, but I had a few opportunities after high school, but never reached the full potential due to like a discipline. Yeah. That's how it be, bro. It's all good. You still got time, shit, boy. It ain't never too late. Especially with that hooping shit. You can hoop somewhere. Somebody assign you. You know what I'm saying? Somebody assign you, my brother. But man, I appreciate y'all, man. I'm gonna go ahead and hop off. I love y'all with the love of Christ. We are the biggest, by the way. Don't forget to like, comment, share, subscribe. I go by SOLARMAN. I'll see y'all next time. Peace.